Hi there, out for another wild camp, finally made it. Purpose of this camp is basically all the food I'm cooking is made out of dehydrated food which I've dehydrated myself at home. So I've got an evening meal, breakfast tomorrow, and another meal lunchtime tomorrow. So it's made out of all the food that I've been dehydrating over the last couple of weeks, basically to try it out, see what it's like. Now I had planned to bivvy out as it's summer. I thought nice summer camp up on the hills overlooking Sheffield, but we've had this constant wind. I was meaning to come out earlier, but it's always been windy, and as most of the film will be about cooking, I thought I'd wait for some calmer weather, but we've never got it. So I've brought my Sulu tent with me. I'm going to get that set up. It'll give me a bit of shelter for cooking. So I'm going to get my camp set up, and then we'll have a look at what food I've brought. Right, that's everything set up. I'll just go through what food I've brought. Like I say, it's all food I have dehydrated myself at home. Now believe it or not, that's my main meal. That weighs about 200 grams. It's spaghetti bolognese. When I dehydrated that, it was a really big plateful, and I took out nearly 600 millilitres of water. So anyway, that's my main meal, spaghetti bolognese. I'm then going to drive, that's just bird's custard, I'm going to try that, but they're dehydrated strawberries, those. So I'm going to rehydrate those, combine them with the custard, see what that works out like. You'll probably see I've got them all vacuum packed. I'd originally packed them in Ziploc bags, but then I purchased this vacuum sealer, fantastic piece of kit. It just sucks all the air out, seals them in plastic, so it cuts down on your packaging a lot. So I might do a video about that at some stage. So that's my sweet strawberries and custard. Tomorrow, that's like a muesli. It's just standard muesli I bought in the supermarket, but in there I've added dehydrated strawberries, blueberries and raspberries, and put some powdered milk in. Vacuum sealed it, so by rights that should give me a good breakfast tomorrow. And then later on, probably lunchtime tomorrow, I'm going to go for a wander about. But that should turn into a very hearty tomato and vegetable soup. It's again, it's just a packet soup I bought, but in there's dehydrated parsnips, carrots, leek, macaroni. I put all sorts in, so I'm hoping that'll turn into a nice soup. That's for tomorrow. Right, to prepare a lot of this food, bought myself a new pot. It's Snow Peak. It's a 1.4 litre pot, so it is a big pot, but I like a decent portion, and I found it's easier to mix and rehydrate the food in a big pot. It doesn't weigh an awful lot. Also, I've made this pot cozy. I'll show you where I use that. Right, so first thing to do to cook a lot of these meals, it's sort of like a slow process to rehydrate everything. So that's the, don't know if you can see that in there, but that's the dried spaghetti bolognese. So I know I took out, it was about 650 millilitres. So I'm going to put in probably about 700 millilitres of water. $600. So that's about, yeah, 650, 700, probably a little bit more than I took out. Now what, if you looked at my video about making the spaghetti, the main thing was to get rid of all the fat and the oil, because that could cause it to go rancid in storage. So what I've got is some olive oil there, so I'm sort of replacing that, and it sort of adds to the meal. So I've put some olive oil in there, and all it's a matter of doing now is leaving that for about 5 minutes just to start its rehydration process. Right, that's had about 5 minutes soaking. You can see it's starting to rehydrate itself already. So now, time to warm it up on the stove. Right, that's just coming up to the boil now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simmer that just for a couple of minutes. Again, I read if you simmer it for about a minute or a couple of minutes, if you've got some pasta in it, dehydrated pasta, it speeds up the dehydration process. So if I say that's probably had a couple of minutes simmering, so I'm going to turn the heat off. And this is where the pot cozy comes in. So all I've done is put the pot with the dehydrated food into the pot cozy, and it's just a matter of leaving it for 10 minutes. Right, so that's had about 10 minutes, so we'll have a look. Still feels very warm, that. Well, it certainly looks nice. Well, that is rehydrated lovely. It's just like the meal I prepared at home. You can see the mince, the tomatoes, the pasta, even the herbs. Everything is rehydrated nice. It's quite unbelievable how it's just gone back to the meal I prepared. I must admit, I thought it might have been a bit dry or a bit hard, but it is very nice. It's just like the meal I prepared, yeah. Other advantage with the pot cozy, it must be 15 minutes ago since I boiled this, and it's still really warm, so you could imagine in winter time it keeps your food warm as well. Right, I'm gonna have a go at preparing this fruit and custard now. Custard is 425 mils of water, and I'm gonna use some to rehydrate the strawberries. So there's about 500 there. So hopefully that should do. So So I'm going to bring that water up to the boil. Get some of these strawberries out. As you can see, these are still crisp from when I dehydrated them. Try it at that. Right, we'll have a go with the custard now. Well, that's the custard. That seems to have thickened. The fruit I did leave a bit longer, so it's probably these have sort of come back to the slices. I don't know if you can see those. That is very similar to the fruit that I did dehydrate. So I'm just going to pour some of this custard on. At the end of the day, it's another meal. You can certainly taste the flavour of the strawberries. It's nearly like it's concentrated the flavour. Right, well that's my evening meal over. All seemed a success. It certainly filled me up. That spaghetti bolognese was beautiful. I know I've said it before, but it was just like we have at home. That it was just true to form. Custard and the strawberries were okay. I dare say you can put different fruit in and that. Anyway, I'm going to sit here, enjoy my cup of coffee, look at the view over Sheffield, have a bottle of wine down in the river. I'm going to have a drink of that later on, and then it'll be bedtime for me as it goes dark. So I will see you in the morning. Just looking down on the lights of Sheffield. I'm going to try and take a few still photographs, see what they work out like. Good morning then. Not a bad night. Still very windy all through the night. Plenty warm enough, but it was just that wind. It never seems to stop. Anyway, as this video is all about food, I'm going to get on with breakfast. Right, for breakfast, got this, like I mentioned, it's a muesli. I sort of made up. I bought the basic muesli. I've put in strawberries, raspberries, black currants, which I'd already dehydrated, some full fat powdered milk, and that's it. So I'm going to boil some water up. I'm going to find my water. So I'll get this boiled up. So yeah, the plan is I'm going to get the water boiled up, make the muesli, cup of coffee, and then I'm going to head off, going to go for a walk across the moors, just to see what I can see. There's always something, it doesn't matter where you are. You set off into the wilds and you'll find something. So I'm going to head over to a campsite I want to look at, which I used a couple of years ago. Just going to check that out. That's where I intend having my lunch, which will be the sort of the dehydrated soup. So probably take a few pictures on the way, see what we can see. Anyway, so I'm just going to get this boiling. Right, that looks like it's coming up to the boil. Right, I'm going to prepare this dehydrated vegetable soup now in a way. So, similar principle to what we did before. I'm going to combine the soup so I'm going to combine, I'm going to combine about about 500 millilitres of water in there. So that's 500 millilitres. And all I'm going to do at this stage is leave that to soak. Just for 5 minutes to start the dehydration process. Right, that's at about 5 minutes soaking time to start the rehydration process. So I'm going to warm that up and let it simmer for a couple of minutes now. So I'm just going to warm it up slowly again so I don't burn it on the pan. You can feel it is a bit thicker and the carrots are starting to rehydrate. Right, that's been simmering for a couple of minutes, so just a matter of putting that in the pot cosy. Now goes in there, and we'll leave that for about probably 10 minutes. See what it's like then. So we'll just see what it looks like. I think I could have put more vegetables in there. It would have taken more vegetables, and also you could put some dehydrated mince or chicken in to make it even more of a filling meal. But yeah, I'm very pleased with that. So I think I'll sit back and enjoy that now. Right, I'm going to sit here and enjoy this soup. Just put me on for the rest of the day. That sort of brings this video to an end. I must admit, I'm impressed with the dehydrated food. I would never go back to the stuff you buy, apart from it costs a fortune, it does not taste very nice, and it certainly doesn't fill me up. This is like, it's interesting actually finding foods to dehydrate, make your own recipes up and that. And like I said, you can make whatever size portion you want, and fills you up a lot more. Anyway, I still bring my normal food out. Yeah, there's nothing like steak and onions and things like that while you're camping. So I'm still going to use that type of food. And but I think for perhaps some winter trips where you don't want to spend too long outside cooking, or trips where it's more about walking than the time to take to cook, I can see me using the dehydrated foods on those. So I'll leave it at that, and all I can say is thanks for watching. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you on the next camp. See you then.